So we've got some great music coming up next. I am really excited to introduce Lauren Brody. She is a vocalist and accordionist, another community member that I admire greatly. She's performed with groups like Yuri Yunikov Ensemble and Ženska Pesna. She has such a rich and deep knowledge of Bulgarian music. In fact, she's done a lot of research about early Bulgarian folk music, and she has some CDs available that are fascinating, rarely heard music of early Bulgarian traditional music. You can access that through her performer website, or you can go to songofthecrookeddance.com. Tonight she's going to be playing a new klezmer composition and a Bulgarian rečenica. Following Lauren, we have a live set, and it's been wonderful to have these live performances as well as recorded videos. It will be Dolunay. They play beautiful Turkish music, both traditional and original songs. It is hauntingly beautiful. So for this set, you are going to want to be able to make yourself comfortable, pour yourself a glass of your favorite beverage, and just let that music wash over you. So here we go, Lauren Brody, followed by Dolunay. Rečenica. Rečenica. And here's Quarantine Jock.
we won Frelax. This is my composition called Bulgarushkovo, and it's a klezmer Bulgarian mashup.
Hi everybody! Thanks so much for being here, and thank you to Golden Fest for having us and all the organizers and volunteers that are making this happen this year. We are Dolunay, and we're going to play some Turkish music for you. We're going to start out with a set of songs that is in the Makam Sabah. We'll start out with a song, and in the song it's a love song, and a woman is saying, I've fallen for a handsome man, and I'm tired of crying and hurting. My heart is in pain. We will follow that by an instrumental piece, and then finish that set of songs off with another song called Aman Doktor, which is somebody asking a doctor to please give them a cure for their heartache.
Thank you. We have another set of music to play. That's Jenny Luna on vocals and percussion.
Adam Good on oud.
She's pointing to that
Adam
direction,
Good on
but I'm over
oud.
here. So we're playing live, and we're in this studio that I rent with my partner in Brooklyn. And I hope you can hear me through this microphone. And we're socially distanced right now, and that's why we're on two separate cameras. And we're using software on the computer to pipe it on through to Zoom. And that's maybe a little why one of us looks a little bit laggy sometimes. But hey, what can you do? We're really enjoying being here, and this festival is amazing. And I can't believe the amount of work that has gone into this with our tech behind the scenes. It's really incredible. And we're going to play some more music now. Sultaniyega Makam.
Sultaniyega Makam.
Charlie, do we have time for one question?
Thank you so much. That's our set. Dolunay. It's Adam Good on Oud. I'm Jenny Luna. Thank you, guys.
I don't know about you, but after that set, I'm just feeling so relaxed and so completely entranced by that music. It's like I needed a little bit of a break from dancing and I wandered off into the atrium to take a quiet moment and I just feel so at peace. How about you, Matt? How you doing?
Absolutely. Mashallah, Jenny, and mashallah, Adam. That was so beautiful. Thank you for the music. Um, for me, that was one of those moments that I actually find energizing in that it's like a super different type of peace and energy that lets me charge up for the rest of the festival. And one of the things
I know what you mean.
one of the things that just came out of the Vimeo chat, which I think is a wonderful connection, and I thank the folks who made this clear. One of the songs that Dolunay just played was actually taught to the musicians on the Y.A.M.M.S project, and you wanna tell folks about Y.A.M.M.S and what we're gonna see next?
Absolutely. So the next video is from, as Matt mentioned, the group Y.A.M.M.S, which stands for Young American Musicians in Macedonia and Serbia. And this was when young musicians from the ages of about 8 to their early 20s traveled to the Balkans to study directly from the source and to play alongside other youth and adults from those countries. And this whole entire trip was spearheaded by our good friend, Sarah Fairhold. She's an incredible visionary music educator. And I feel like at EFC Balkan camps, she was the person who really started to create this culture of young people playing music, no matter how little time they'd played their instrument for, that everybody was welcome. You just needed to know how to play a scale and you could play with the band. And Matt, I don't know that I remember really hearing a lot of young people playing those instruments before Chochek Nation and Mladoselo.
Yeah, I think it was a much less sort of unified approach, and it was much more sort of catch as you can catch them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is wonderful the work Sarah and the folks helping her out have done. It's truly a remarkable thing about our community and something that I think the young people really cherish. I know from my experience of some of these young people.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And really just seeing that next generation grow is something that always gives me great pleasure and great joy. So here is the footage of the Y.A.M.M.S trip. Hope you enjoy.
First, we met up in New York City in Brooklyn for a couple of days to rehearse, and we spent a lot of time talking about what the trip means to each of us and what we thought it might be like. And then we got on the plane and we went to Serbia. The Surdulica Festival is the qualifying competition for Guča in the southeastern part of the country, and that is where we were headed. The bands who go to Surdulica are competing for the right to go to Guča and compete there. Our first stop was the home of Jovica Ajdarovic. We gathered there with his family and his band, as well as old friends and teachers of Zlatni Usti brass band, Demiran Šerimović and Šerim Bečirović. We broke up into sections, and we learned Vlasinsko Kolo that day. Vlasinsko Kolo is the tune that is a kind of anthem of this particular festival and is always played at the end of each parade during the festival, and it is also played by the winners of the competition. After that first workshop, we were invited to participate in the youth parade. Saturday is the youth day of the competition, and Sunday is the adult day. Before the parade, we were very nervous and wondering what it was going to be like and what would people think of our music and how would we do. And we started to play, and within a few moments, getting to know them through our instruments, and all the nervousness went away. After the parade, that was our first real chance to just be musicians and people and share our instruments and our joy and our love of the music. There was a lot of handing off of people's instruments, trying out valves and checking out mouthpieces and playing with slides. And then we were invited to perform on stage during the judging of the festival. And we were pretty nervous about it, but also very excited. We had a lot of concerns among us before we went on stage about appropriation and representation, wondering if it's okay for us to be playing this music for this audience in this place. And I think for the most part we decided that it was okay. festival, we had a wonderful workshop with Ekrem Mamutovic and his band. And we had studied and learned a couple of their tunes in prior years. And so it was quite amazing to be able to work with the band that we had been learning from recordings for all these years in person.
Jak, tuj, tri, stop.
Vranja for a few days, we went down to Štip in Macedonia, and we spent time with Nizo Alimov, who's spent time with us also here in the States at Balkan Camp. We had a few days of workshops with them where we learned some traditional dance, and they taught us also some new music, which was very exciting. And at the end, we were invited to perform in a parade. So Nizo and his family purchased a number of traditional shavare, and many of us wore them. And we went parading through the town with Nizo's band, and at the end we reached the town square where our two groups gave a concert together and of our traditional dance that we had learned. chapter of our trip was in Berevo, Macedonia. We spent 3 days working with Ferisan Zekirov, and we had a wonderful exchange with them. We learned beautiful music, and most importantly, we really felt connected to them at the end of our time together. Ferisan is a teacher and brought many local youth musicians with him to participate in the workshop with us. So we were learning together. And we also took a hike and we played games and we had a chance to eat with them and to spend time in different ways to really build a strong connection. At this moment, it means more than ever to look back at this trip. We long for a time to come when people are safe and healthy, connected and not divided. Soon we will hold hands and dance together again.
What an incredible video from the Y.A.M.M.S trip. That sounds like it must have been an amazing experience. And here to talk with me about that experience are two of our young musicians, Ella Fine and Felicia Goldberg. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Thanks.
So, the first thing I want to do is to credit Felicia with the creation of that video. That looks amazing. Felicia, what was it like to put that video together?
Uh, Putting that together was such a roller coaster of emotions. It was so heartwarming to see all the footage and like really be able to go through and see everything that we did. And I really tried to like craft it in a way where it felt like you were going along with us. Like, so I kept everything chronologically and just made it feel like as though you were able to come to every workshop and get a taste of all the experience that we had.
Well done. I definitely felt
Thanks.
like I went on that trip along with you.
Thank you.
So let's turn it over to the music. Can you each tell us what you play and how you got involved in Balkan music to start with? Ella, let's start with you.
Yeah, I play the trumpet. I got involved with Balkan music actually because my dad plays Macedonian folk music. So I've been going to Golden Festival and the EEFC's Balkan camp over the summer every year since I was 3 months old. And I joined the Y.A.M.M.S group of musicians when I was 8, and then one day I woke up and I was in Serbia.
What a ride. Felicia, how about you?
um, I play the trombone as my main instrument, but being at camp, my family's also gone my whole life. So when I'm at camp, I try to branch out and do different classes and learn different things. But yeah, I being in the Yams was such an amazing experience, and it's really opened a lot of doors for me musically.
Thank you. So you both have really spent a long time, basically your whole lives, making music here in the US, here at Balkan Camp. When you took that trip to Serbia, what was different about making music there? Ella, go ahead.
A major difference that I noticed was the way that music is taught to kids. Here, a lot of the time, music is simplified to a level where kids can master the material. Whereas over there, I noticed that a lot of the time the material is presented at a very high level where there's not an expectation that you're going to be able to master that anytime soon. But I think that that challenge is what really leads to growth. And so I've tried to implement some of that type of work in my own music where I know I'm not going to be able to master it soon, and also the way we do it over here, because that's what really fosters like confidence and the joy of playing music.
Certainly looked joyful when I watched that video, that's for sure. Felicia, what was your experience like?
Um, I just think here and there, all the musicians who are playing this Balkan type of music where the musicians are so closely connected with each other and we really have to maintain that like level of contact while we're playing. I think everyone's just been so welcoming and like even if you're not the best musician or you don't have that level of mastery, it's really awesome that everyone can just feel connected while we play.
Sounds incredible. So I know that if I were a young musician watching this video, watching you, I would be somebody who really looked up to you. I would be inspired and I would want to play this music myself. So, what advice would you give to those young musicians who want to do exactly what you do? Ella?
I would say like find someone who you look up to, plays your instrument, listen to how they sound, look at how they play, ask them questions. Having a mentor and having something to aspire to is a really good motivator for getting better at playing music. And I also would say like don't feel like you only have to go to classes or workshops that are targeted towards kids. Anywhere that there's learning, you should feel comfortable to learn and is open for you.
Felicia, how about you?
I think that camp is just like and taking different classes, just being able to explore any musical pathway that you want to is super huge. Like definitely um like look into different bands that you're interested in, reach out to people like Ella said, like having someone to look up to is huge. Having like finding a teacher that you think is really inspirational will really get your musical gears going.
So, speaking of different bands, this next band coming up, Novi Hitovi, is one that both of you are involved in. And Ella, would you like to tell us a little bit more about the band and introduce your next set?
Yeah. So Novi Hitovi started when Aaron Kisslinger, the leader of the band, just decided to get some people together to play a set at Balkan Camp one year, and it really grew out of that. In this band are a lot of people that went on that Y.A.M.M.S trip from the videos you saw, and they're people that Felicia and I have grown up playing music with. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys really enjoy.
I can see everyone around us. We're here to celebrate that set with Novi Hitovi with Aaron Kisslinger.
Hey everyone, happy Golden Festival. Thanks for having me on. Hope everyone got to dance a little bit behind their screen.
So Kisslinger, that's an interesting name. You know, when I was doing my research for the band, I was like, he's got the same last name as me. And I thought, I got to meet this guy.
Crazy coincidence, right? Crazy
Yeah.
coincidence. What are the odds?
It's good meeting you. So listen, what did we just hear? I mean, is there anything you want to highlight about? There were a lot of questions in the chat about what was going on, how it was put together. What do you want to tell us about that set?
So you just heard two tunes. The first one is an original tune that I wrote for this band in kind of last spring at the beginning of the pandemic. It's called Hila Oro. It was I finished the first draft of it like the day that Hila was born. It's Don and Emily's new baby. So I figured, you know, make it a gift. And yeah, and then the second tune is called Trechi. Sometimes we call it Trechi Rumba. I mean, that's the name that we know it as. It's a tune that we learned from videos of Serbian Roma brass bands. I think the one we learned it when was Elvis Aidinovic was the band we learned it from on YouTube. Yeah.
Well, so, you know, Novi Hitovi means?
New hits, means new hits brass band, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, one big controversy, Novi Hitovi or Novi Hitovi? You want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, like you said, Novi Hitovi is how it's traditionally pronounced. I kind of took the name of this band knowing people might mispronounce it because Novi Hitovi tends to sound a little better, has a nice rhythm to it. But yeah, Novi Hitovi brass band. And like Ella and Felicia mentioned before we went on, you know, this band came together at the EEFC, that's East European Folk Life Center, at their Balkan Music and Dance Camp on the East Coast. I think 4 or 5 years ago now. And yeah, I mean, we basically, different members of different bands kind of came together, and really it started like I just mentioned, where a couple people had brought in some tunes that they had found online, and they were like, we got to learn these. These are really hot. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's put together a band. And then we kind of kept regrouping for Balkan Camp, and then each Golden Festival we put together a set. And so I wanted to figure out some sort of interactive element that we could, you know, you can't really have a brass band over Zoom, although I'm impressed by all the different creative ways that all of these bands have figured out to collaborate, whether live or pre-recorded for this festival. But yeah, so I wanted to put together something that was somewhat interactive, people could contribute to. So I wrote that tune, arranged it. I recorded a bunch of the stuff on it. Some other people contributed. And yeah, it's such a joy to be able to share it with everyone.
Well, it's a joy to hear it. And I mean, do you have like a concept or a direction you're trying to go with the band?
No, I mean, it's this band is interesting because, like I said, it's existed for 2 weeks out of every year, but every time we come together, it's like, we should be doing this every day. And then we had finally kind of booked a small tour for the summer that was supposed to start like the week after COVID hit. So, you know, it's definitely been a constant adaptation and evolution with this band. And I think that's part of the joy of it also, is that it can exist in a lot of different forms. And so, you know, even though not everyone in the band was featured in either of these videos, the first video, people submitted clips themselves. The second we actually filmed in October in Sarah Fairholt's backyard. So even though not everyone was featured in it, I mean, there are core members that have been part of the band since the beginning, like Felicia, Goldberg, and Nathan Wallman. And, yeah, but you know, it's nice to be able to create some kind of connection right now. So, and yeah,
that's what tonight and last night have been about. And you know, I'm wondering, just if you could talk a little bit. I mean, we saw Y.A.M.M.S, we saw that trip, we saw some of those familiar faces from your amazing experience there, and then, you know, just thinking about this progression. So you and a number of your colleagues have grown up in the scene, and I wondered if you could just reflect a little bit on that and how it shaped you or how you think about this music.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this band would not exist if it wasn't for this community. I think this band is kind of has always been an experiment to see how it, I mean, it's a challenge, right? Like the name is a challenge. The name means new hits. So we have to constantly be evolving, and we have to be, you know, learning from each other constantly. But as far as this community, I mean, the EEFC's camps have been the foundation, not just for this band, but for much of my musicality. And I know that, like, so there's so many members in this band that have come up through this community and now kind of entered into the next stage of musicianship. And so it's really amazing for me to be following that Y.A.M.M.S video where, you know, I was fortunate to go to the Balkans with Zlatna Uste before that, and then go back with Y.A.M.M.S. And so in understanding the music, in moving with community and growing, I mean, it's such a, and to have the back and forth with musicians in the Balkans, I mean, this band also owes a huge amount to Demiran Cerimovic and Tenizo Alemov, who are both legendary Roma brass band musicians. And I mean, you know, when we talk about music, when we talk about culture, I mean, it's created by people, right? Like this is, we honor everyone that we learn this music from, and the lineages that we're kind of inheriting and messing around with. And also, you know, in writing this tune, I'm hoping to kind of complete that circle, and you know, nothing would make me happier if bands played that tune for weddings in the Balkans, you know what I mean? So so yeah, but this community is everything, and this band would not exist without these two anchors grounding us every year. And in some ways it's a relief not to have to run around Brooklyn and rehearse 10 hours and then play 5 sets, but also, you know, it's just a really important piece of the puzzle. So I am really grateful.
So just two quick things. One is to mention that I think we'll be hearing Nizo later with Slavic Soul Party, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and you'll be hearing Ekrem, who you saw Y.A.M.M.S taking a workshop with in Vranje in Serbia.
Also, right. And here's a really unfair final question before we turn to the next set. When did you first hear Balkan music?
Well, my first Golden Festival, I was 3 months old. And I don't remember that, obviously, but I do remember, you know, being in the center of the dance floor, in the center of the circle, looking up at Zlatna Uste playing around me. And so I think that was probably one of the first times. But this music, you know, it has been the soundtrack to my life in a lot of ways, and influenced the music that I make, even in different contexts. I have a solo pop project that's called Ani, and you know, I think the music is deeply, deeply influenced by everything we've been hearing, by Serbian music, Turkish music, everything, even if it's not directly what I'm making. So, you know, this stuff it works its way into your understanding of the world.
Well, I'm just going to say, in case there's any question, I am actually Aaron's father. And I think it's fair, I could say that it's just so exciting for me to see how you're pushing things forward and learning from you at this point. And so let's wrap this part up.